Yo, what's up? What's up? This your guy Ray Hama, one versus a million. Yes, y'all. Yes. Ooh, I was excited when brother shout out to him too. Yes, to our brother Comics Explain, Rob slash Comics Explain for staying consistent and especially with being consistent and in this Godzilla versus Justice League versus Kong series. And this is issue number 5. So I dived into it just a little bit, maybe like the first 5 minutes, but I was like, oh man, I was like, I'd rather just watch this with y'all. So with you guys who have seen it or may not have seen it already, but also to keep in mind, we also in here in the Hama Force Geek Table, we shall be covering one of the latest episodes of One Piece. So, which will be coming up sometime after this today. So, oh man, yes, yes, yes. Thank you. And also, I would like to shout out my dear brother, the War General in the Hama Force, Roast Master One. Appreciate you, dear brother. Appreciate you, man. And yeah, always grateful, grateful. And this is for you. Here you go, brother.
Overheating has always been a problem. Let me try out my abilities. I want to incinerate you with hellfire so hot, you won't be able to regenerate fast enough! Prominent fire! I can't be allowed to look pathetic. Not in this moment.
So yeah, thank you, dear brother Roast Master. Appreciate you guys. And more more such videos and clips shall be coming soon. They are in the midst of being created. So yes, without further ado, let's get into it, you guys. Let's get into it. Oh man, I'm just so excited about this. So, and as usual, as I play it, I may chime in here and there, but for the most part, I'm looking to let it play. So, you know, with less interruptions, because I know how annoying that is for you guys when whatever kind of content is being shared, or where we have people that likes to stop the video every every 10 seconds. You know what I mean? So yeah, um, that's kind of like a little annoying for me, but with that, I would like to do the opposite of that. So yeah, all right, y'all. So here we go. Let's get ready. And my brother Rob, man, shout out to you, brother Rob. Shout out to Comics Explain. Awesome, awesome channel. The link is in the description for his channel. And man, he he was hilarious. He is hilarious in this. So all right. So yeah, let's get to it.
War. And you should subscribe to Comics Explained. What's going on, guys? This is Rob, and I just woke up, so my voice is super deep.
Fair use.
With Justice League, Godzilla, Kong, and the ending of this is crazy. It totally blew my mind. I can't wait to see what comes next. So, picking up where we left off in the last video, we got Godzilla, and we got the Kraken, and we got some monster whose name I don't know that I'm sure you typed in the comments, but I'm going to call him Tim. So, what we get is like this three-way battle between these guys, and Aquaman and Mera and Wonder Woman and all these folks are just kind of watching it all go down. Because what are they going to do? Right? I mean, well, one, the whole idea was to unleash the Kraken so it could fight Godzilla, so they could keep Godzilla from destroying Atlantis. Because as you guys know, from the last videos that we've done, there are beacons at different places around the world that have been planted there for the purpose of summoning Godzilla. Now, what we're going to find out at the end of all this is that this is actually just a distraction. Right? Like Godzilla facing off against the Justice League in these different locations is all a distraction by Lex Luthor, who we already know.
Damn, yeah, that motherfucker is. Yeah, Lex Luthor is a motherfucker, man. Oh man, uh, and you see that the Godzilla here It's fighting two different kaijus. You might as well say the damn Kraken is a damn kaiju, for uh, the kaiju pet of Aquaman. So, so yeah.
At different places around the world that have been planted there for the purpose of summoning Godzilla. Now, what we're going to find out at the end of all this is that this is actually just a distraction, right? Like Godzilla facing off against the Justice League in these different locations is all a distraction by Lex Luthor, who we already knew was a part of the story, and it's really, really dope. But basically, the fight between these guys goes exactly the way that you would think, right? It's just bare knuckle brawling, right? Just like punching each other, hitting each other, and everything. And it's pretty dope. Now, of course, Green Lantern shows up and he just wraps up Tim in a.
He said wraps up Till. Look at him. Oh shit. And if he breaks out of that shit, yeah, you might as well get out of there, Green Lantern. Got him. You might think you got him. You got him, but other motherfuckers may look at your ass like, what the hell?
A Green Lantern hard light construct net, which is kind of cool, I guess, right? It just sort of keeps him away from the main fight per se. And then the Kraken gets the upper hand on Godzilla, right? Like literally the Kraken gets the upper hand on this guy, right? And the thing is, like, while they're trying to,
I mean, there's been plenty of kaijus, they got the upper hand on, on Godzilla, but it's always been short lived. Godzilla always come back stronger.
get the beacon out of there as fast as possible, there is collateral damage, right? Like the dome's cracking and all that kind of stuff. So Green Lantern is basically forced to like allow Tim to escape to go after the Flash, right? Who's just swimming as fast as he can, because when you can't run on a hard surface, you can't run at the speed of light. So, right, he's just swimming really, 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 really fast. The guy's trying to get out of there as fast as he can. Green Lantern's got to like put a hard light construct bubble around the dome in order to keep everybody in there safe and keep them alive and from being destroyed by everything. And they're just kind of like watching on. But finally, the Kraken gets his claws on Godzilla. And at that point, Wonder Woman and Aquaman are like, cool. So the Kraken's got Godzilla. We'll go do our thing. Wrong, because we don't even get to see it. We don't get the we don't even get any of that. We just see the atomic breath just fire off, and presumably the Kraken is just totally obliterated. And they're like,
Damn.
no, like what are we gonna do, right? So like Green Lantern to the rescue, hard light construct over the dome, and now they're just kind of stuck there trying to figure out what comes next. Now at that point, we switch over with Oliver Queen. Yes, I know. The head of the thing that Oliver Queen saw was one of those crawler thingies from Skull Island. I get that. Let me want to believe that it's King Ghidorah. Let me have my fantasy, guys. You don't have to deuce all over my fantasy, my hopes and dreams, because it'd be awesome if it was King Ghidorah. But this is where the League of Assassins comes into play. No, not the League of Shadows. League of Shadows was made for the Dark Knight Rises movie, and then eventually it was adapted to the comic books. It's always been the League of Assassins in DC Comics. But Oliver Queen shows up here, and ever the guy who is kind of goofy and silly, but also has it where it counts. He's just kind of like musing to himself, only to like crawl out from under where he's hiding and be encountered by like a boatload of the League of Assassins. And he makes this like hilarious comment. He's like, was I saying all that stuff out loud? And they're like, no. And he's like, well, it doesn't matter anyway. So like he goes to attack these guys as best he can. But for the most part, there's only so much he can do. Oliver Queen's cool, but he's not like this nigh indestructible guy. So he ends up just firing off this arrow that creates an explosion. It basically offers a distraction, and the guy makes his escape, right? Just like jumps out into the water, and he's like, okay. So like the League of Assassins is involved in this. We're going to need more help. As if the Justice League wasn't stretched thin enough as it is. Now, here's the thing. Here's where stuff gets really cool here. So what you do is you pick up with iPhone, right? And as he's like flying and heading towards Batman, by the way, you guys new to this video.
Oh, boy, yes, I am sure taking that. Oh, Rob. Yeah, I know you said it before, baby. Every time he calls him. You know what I mean? It's because it's him. It is his voice. You know, every time he calls Cyborg iPhone. Oh, shit. I am taking that, brother. I am taking that. Shout out to Rob. Oh, shit. Rob coined that one. Oh, man. I never heard of nobody calling Cyborg iPhone till Rob.
We're calling Cyborg iPhone. iPhone, right? I mean, because it makes the most logical sense. Right?
Okay.
The guy's a walking, talking iPhone, you know? But anyway, so him and Batman are talking to each other, and basically you end up finding out that like when they had raided the files of Lex Luthor and all his forces,
Oh.
they had basically raided the files that included Monarch. Now, this is one of the things that
Yeah.
like Lex Luthor and his guys are already well aware of. And the Justice League is just now learning this. Now, as we know, as the viewing audience, right, as the people who are reading this comic, Monarch is the organization that has been studying the Titans, like in that universe where Godzilla and Kong and all these monsters come from, right? Remember at the very beginning of this video, they were yanked from that universe and brought into this universe. And so with all really available to the Justice League, iPhone makes this comment where he says, I sent out a summary of the Monarch files highlighting all of the Titans' known strengths and weaknesses. Now, Batman, of course, says, I'm reviewing it now. What's happening in Atlantis? The response of iPhone, waiting for an update and nothing yet from Shazam, who's MIA, or Green Arrow on Skull Island. Supergirl is headed back there to check on the ape called Kong. Based on what's in those files, Kong is as close to a good guy as you'll find among and finally we're 4 issues in and Kong has just been sitting on an island over there somewhere. Like it's just like, okay, come on guys, do something. It's better not be one of those stories where like Kong comes in at the last minute, right? It's gonna piss me off. And so Batman's like, okay, so like if we can make a 300-foot tall ally, like that's awesome. He's like, by the way, have you checked on the specs that I sent you? And the response of iPhone is, yes, that's a very ambitious plan. And Batman's like, but with the help of the Flash and his friends, we're going to be able to make this work because what they're doing is they're building the cosmic treadmill. Now, this is cool, right? Because the cosmic treadmill, you don't really see very often. But for those of you guys who don't know about it, the cosmic treadmill, it basically allows a user to go backward or forward in time, depending on what kind of radiation they use. Right? Positive radiation sends you into the future, negative radiation sends you into the past, right? But the fact is, they're working on bringing the cosmic treadmill back, but they're using Wally to seemingly power the treadmill, or at the very least, a kind of interim use for the treadmill. Most likely, it will go to Barry, right? The cosmic treadmill and Barry Allen are just like inexorably intertwined because it really all started with him. And that's when you pick up with Supergirl, who's headed back over to Skull Island in order to recruit King Kong. But when she gets there, we end up finding Skull Island in order to recruit King Kong. But when she gets there, we end up finding out that like Gorilla Grodd and Gorilla City have shown up there to like bow down to the power of Kong. And on one hand, it seems kind of silly, but on the other hand, it makes perfect sense because if you were a member of Gorilla City and a 300-foot tall gorilla just appeared in your reality, you would probably worship it as your god as well. Although technically, Gorilla Grodd did this when he first encountered Kong back when they had initially gone over to that universe. So he's already like assuming that this is like a god of some kind. And most likely just told everybody else in Gorilla City, hey guys, there's like a 300-foot tall gorilla over there, and he's our god. Let's go. Right. And then like they head over there, and like that's where they are now. Now, the cool thing here is you would expect Supergirl to be able to like just overpower these guys in an instant, right? Because when it comes to like Gorilla Grodd's telepathy, his ability to mind control people, Supergirl can overcome that, right? Initially, the idea seemed to be that he was trying to use it on Kong. But what Gorilla Grodd does is he reveals that he's got a green kryptonite horn. And what this does is it exposes Supergirl to green kryptonite radiation. And then because of that, it allows his telepathy to overtake Supergirl. And so King Kong, who's just been down bad for Supergirl this entire time, right? Smitten with this chick, right? You know how they always say the worst thing she could do is say no? Nope. The worst thing she could do is just beat you into submission, because that's exactly what Supergirl does. She just starts pummeling this guy, right? So, hey, you know, when it comes to asking girls out, you pay your money and take your chances. I don't know what to tell you, right? Dating in 2024, it's a struggle for everybody. So what you do here is you switch back over to Shazam. And Shazam has, for the most part, just been punishing himself. Now, the reason for this, as we covered in the previous videos, is that Shazam was there when Superman was hit. Because Superman is, by all standards of measurement, dead, right? Like if he's not dead, he's certainly dying, right? That's basically what's going on here. And so because of that, he kind of sees himself as the fault of it all, which is basically true. I mean, it is kind of Billy Batson's fault. Technically, it's Godzilla's fault, but Billy Batson didn't do anything to make things better. And so because of that, Batman kind of tells him, like, stop punishing yourself, all that kind of stuff. Take your anger and channel it into something constructive, which is actually a great thing for him to do, right? I mean, the worst thing you could do in a state of like high emotional duress is become self-destructive. That's how you end up completely and totally destroying your life, or potentially something worse, right? But the fact is, Billy Batson doesn't want to hear it, because what he's doing is heading directly to the headquarters of Lex and all his guys. And while he is able to hold his own for a little bit, at the end of the day, despite how powerful he is, he can't hold all these guys off, because it's basically every villain in the DC universe of any measurable power who's here, right? And so Billy Batson fighting these guys as best he can, and he's putting in the work. He's putting in the work. Understand, son. What's happening here? Billy Batson is putting in the work against these guys, right? Because you got Captain Cold who shows up. Billy Batson's like, man, son, you better come strong, right? And then you have like Mongol who appears. He's like, bruh, like this is not going to do it. But then Gigantic comes out of nowhere and says, no, but I can do it. And just bam, one punches this guy, which I guess when you're like a 50-foot tall woman with super strength makes it very easy to do. But the fact remains here, right? Switching back over to Hal Jordan in Atlantis, using his hard-like constructs to try to keep this dome from collapsing in on itself, that he is struggling to make this happen, because it's not even really just like a matter of willpower. As most of you guys who are aware of the Green Lantern mythos know, Green Lanterns derive their power from willpower. And Hal Jordan's willpower is basically limitless, right? It was of such a high level, the guy forged his own ring out of just sheer will. I mean, it's just kind of nuts, right? It'd be like you just being like, I really, really want this. And then it comes into existence. It's nuts, right? It's crazy that he was able to pull that off. But the fact is, the weight of 10,000 pounds of pressure of the ocean pushing around on him, that will take its toll on you. Because unlike Aquaman or Mera or any of the other Atlantean soldiers that are out there, they're acclimated to this environment. Hal Jordan is not. And so the pressure ultimately begins to get to him. The hard-like construct starts to collapse, The dome is out there, but at the last minute, Jon Stewart, Jessica Cruz, Guy Gardner, and Simon Baz show up, right? They literally come out and bail this guy out, right? They put the hard light constructs in there, which I know you guys are excited to see Jon Stewart and Guy Gardner. Jessica Cruz and Simon Baz, I guess, they're okay. But like, it is cool to see these dudes show up, right? So they bail out Hal Jordan. You have Godzilla, who's just like sitting there after having destroyed the Kraken, and then Aquaman ends up putting this metal chain around Godzilla's foot. Now, what that means, for those of you guys who don't know, nth metal is about as close as you get to something comparable to like Uru metal or adamantium from Marvel Comics, maybe a hybrid of both, but it's an incredibly durable metal. I guess technically, what is it, Prometheum metal, I think it is, in DC Comics is similar to adamantium. No, it doesn't matter. It's just one of DC's most durable metals and probably the strongest metal in existence. And so the fact that it will hold Godzilla in place, this allows us to switch over to Lex Luthor. And this is where this is where it's gonna blow your socks off, because Lex Luthor asked this question: is the connection stable? Right? This voice comes in online for 90 minutes and counting. The system is stable. Lex Luthor, then let's do it. Execute link up. And he says, I'm live. And this person's like, how does it feel, Mr. Luthor? And he's like, powerful. And so this person's like, don't mean to interrupt your moment, Lex, but I count 4 Titans heading back your way. Mechagodzilla must have a beacon built into its system. We should locate and deactivate. The response of Lex, no, let them come. They need to learn who the true alpha is. Now, Mechagodzilla is awesome. Mechagodzilla is awesome. But here's the thing. At that point, what you do is you switch over to Ra's al Ghul and the Lazarus Pits, because the League of Assassins is flying in that skull. And the idea is to drop it into this volcano, right? This Lazarus volcano, because presumably what it will do is restore this thing back to life. And so now what you're going to have is not just all these Titans running around, you're going to potentially have a world-killing monster running around as well that literally burrows into the earth and kills a planet. With that being said, guys, we're going to bring this to an end. Man, this story is so dope. God, it's absolutely amazing. If you guys need to get
Oh wow. Yes. Oh man, that's awesome. Oh man, I can't wait, dude. I cannot wait. Oh man, Mecha Godzilla is gonna be coming into the mix, man. And I thought that was pretty cool of how uh how Jordan had help, from the other Green Lanterns. They came in like right nigga time to help him, what I mean, when he right before, he was about to, you know, get off fatigue and shit, worn out, and ended up in a dome, ended up collapsing. So they came right in time to help him. And I'm like, wow. So to them, every elemental aspect of what Marvel has in their comics, like DC replicated that in their own little format. Hence, like when it comes to the chain, the metal that's used to hold that Aquaman used to put on Godzilla's leg, which he had the Kraken trapped in. And so, and as Rob said, this metal is supposed to be, somewhat in the liking of or close to like adamantium metal and all that, vibranium. So I'm kind of curious, man. I am I am kind of curious. Oh shit. Oh man. And I thought that was like bullshit. Y'all kill me with this female dominance bullshit. Y'all like to slip in there. This old gigantic bitch that came in and just one punches Billy, and takes him out. I'm like, come on, man. Come on. You must be nowhere near the strength as Superman if you're gonna get taken out by one punch by Gigantor. So that yeah, and then before that we see where Supergirl was rocking uh King Kong, knocking his ass down. I'm like, what the hell is this, man? He's like, oh God, I dare not hit the white woman. I'm like, man, if you don't slap that bitch out the way, man. Hell, worrying about them. Oh, if you hit her or defend yourself, motherfucker, you're gonna crush her. No, bud. She can use a good smacking. She can use a good, just a one time of your force as the King Kong. Damn it, letting her know, hey, who hey, who's strong, who's king in this motherfucker. You know what I mean? You let her know, hey, she can deal with it. Supergirl can deal with it. She can take it. She'll still be alive. But he's looking at her as fragile, as if she's human. You know what I mean? And I thought that was cool because of Grodd having the kryptonite, crystal kryptonite embedded in his crown, which therefore allowed him to break through the strength that the Kryptonians have, such as Supergirl, which basically blocked him from mind controlling her. So, but that crystal allowed him to bypass that strength, and thus to get into her head and all that. So, and as we see in issue, I'm like, damn, when is Superman coming back? So it's like, okay, so it's safe to say that it's going to, that they're going to basically have that being, towards the end as some big ass, for a big ass plot or whatever. And yeah. And I thought that was Lex Luthor. I thought Lex Luthor with him saying, like, let them come, because they're going to understand who the true alpha is. I'm like, oh, shit. This Lex Luthor ain't playing, but he's no joke. Shit. Can we get a very witty and cunning Lex Luthor like that in live action? Come on, man. Like, well, just the creativity of Hollywood is just garbage, man, compared to, all others that we have seen, with their creativity when it comes to plot twists and all that shit. So yeah, he obliterated the Kraken. Godzilla obliterated the Kraken. Totally destroys him. But I mean, so I'm like, okay, he must be still fighting the other kaiju from what it seems. Because, when he went to move forward towards this, towards that kaiju, he realized, when his leg was trapped by that chain, by Aquaman's chain, he was like, oh shit, what the hell? So, yeah, because they didn't, expound upon that, like I was hoping. So, showing that he took out not only the Kraken, but the other kaiju that was there as well. So yeah, because Godzilla was getting jumped in. And when we remember, this ain't the first time Godzilla's got jumped before. So, but yeah, so I mean, and I had faith and hope in our boy, Godzilla, that he was going to take both of them out, man. So, but again, thank you guys, appreciate it. We're getting work on to the next stream, the next Geek Table, the next Homo Force Geek Table, which is going to include One Piece. Yes. Oh man, it was a hot topic too, in which case I am pissed, highly pissed. But in the same time frame, in that same moment, I cheered for joy. Damn it, with a strong masculine war. You hear me? I'm like, yeah, because y'all got law fucked up. Y'all got law all the way fucked up. So. Yes, sir. So, thank you guys. Appreciate it. And thank you again, Brother Roastmaster One. Dear Brother War General, thank you, brother, for blessing the channel and supporting, brother, as always. And you guys can also support through Ray Hama Cash App or like, share, subscribe. All that's the form of contributing and supporting. So, thank you. Appreciate it. Oh, man, this was awesome. This was awesome. So, thank you. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. Ray Hama, one versus a million. I'm out.